This is a story about Tempe, the food of hope from Indonesia. It all began in 2014, when I was so into bodybuilding. I was doing my undergraduate degree in biotechnology in Jakarta, Indonesia. It was a constant struggle. I tried to eat foods that are high in protein, fiber, vitamins, while limiting my intake of sugar, fat, refined carbohydrate. However, the meals shown on most bodybuilding websites were typically Western, such as chicken breast, meats, eggs, milk, and salads. As a student, I found it so expensive to eat meat every day or to buy supplements. I'm also allergic to milk proteins and too much egg. So I looked up scientific literature, reading many research papers to find affordable, lean protein sources around me, here in Indonesia. And it turned out to be Tempe. At first, it was so hard to believe, since Tempe is a very common and cheap traditional food. My mind was blown. Getting highly interested, I read more research papers and compiled it into a Bible. And here is the summary. Tempe is Indonesian traditional food, made of fermented soybean in leaves or recently plastic bag. The fermentation makes it complex, sliceable, and has a unique flavor. It's usually consumed fried, stir-fried, in a curry or in soup. Tempe is a staple protein source in Indonesia. The fermentation from soybean to tempe changed its nutritional value positively. The protein level is increased, the fat level is decreased, and it now contains the essential vitamin B12 and also reduces the anti-nutrient that can interfere with the absorption of micronutrients. Compared to beef, Tempe typically contains similar amount and quality of protein. Tempe does not contain saturated fat, whose excess consumption has been linked with cardiovascular disease and obesity. It contains no cholesterol, it's a good source of fiber, it's low in salt, it's an excellent source of calcium, it's low in sugar, it's a source of iron and zinc, it's a source of prebiotics, foods for our good gut microbiota, and paraprobiotics, dead bacteria that can stimulate immune response without causing harm, like vaccines. And also isoflavones, the soy anti-cancer compounds. Tempe is also a more efficient protein source compared to beef. It only costs about 10% of total energy consumption, 20% of the CO2 consumption, and 20 times more land efficient. It is also more affordable. In the United States, Tempe could be only $1 for half a pound, compared to beef choice steak for $7, for example. In Indonesia, its price could be only 5% compared to beef per kilogram. Tempe then became my favorite food. It's super delicious. Golden fried tempe is my favorite. It's very cheap, sustainable, healthy, Indonesian, and also a sentimental food, because my mom used to feed me with tempe porridge when I was a baby. One day, my mom, grandpa, and I were talking about Tempe. We were all in the science world that time. My mom, a food safety company CEO, just got home after a class for her Master's of Biotechnology degree. She was amazed by the true health benefits of Tempe. And grandpa, the father of food science and technology in Indonesia, just got home from a scientific oration of a colleague. He was very impressed by how Tempe could improve gut microbiota health. Feeling highly inspired, we agreed that we need to act. The world needs to know more. Tempe can be a solution to the world's problem for obesity, heart attack, diabetes, and cancer. Chronic diseases like that have been linked to the consumption of high fat, high saturated fat, and high refined carbohydrate diet, while Tempe is the opposite. Also for protein energy malnutrition, anemia, and iron deficiency, which Tempe has the lacking nutrition. 2015, we conducted the first international conference on Tempe. We gathered the mind of academia, private sectors, and government from around the world to discuss about the importance of Tempe. It resulted in the summary of Tempe health benefits, a declaration of Tempe as a recommended food for baby during complemented breastfeeding, and many Tempe-based ideas from the youth. We saw with our own eyes how everyone at the conference went home inspired, like Pak Prianto, a Tempe maker that went home prouder than ever. After the conference was over, during a morning walk with mom, we agreed that this should not stop there. So many people and groups showed high enthusiasm from the field of science, arts, food, health, and many more. And we also felt that so many aspects of Tempe still need to be rediscovered: arts, philosophies, cultures, history, stories, diplomacy, and many more. We wrapped up the Tempe Challenge, conference, and other collaborations under a movement where anyone can participate to do whatever they love to do to promote Tempe as a food of hope from Indonesia. We shared stories through social media, books, Ninja Warriors events, workshops, social trainings, and many other collaborations around the globe. My Tempe Challenge also continued inspiring the making of Tempe Bar along the way, and led me to have Tempe as a research topic for my PhD in food science at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. The movement is like a direction of my life calling, because it does good, which is a good life meaning to me. Mom also helps so many people through the movement's social business, and Grandpa has published even more books that are very popular in Indonesian. But what keeps us going is truly hearing how knowing Tempe has changed people's lives positively. Opik from West Java, Indonesia, was a school dropout, but now he's employing his friends to produce 15 kilograms of homemade Tempe chips per day. Chef Willie from Portland, United States, invented a new Tempe-based product thanks to seeing the movement's Tempe Bar concept. Nadia Arai is starting a Tempe business in Brazil. Dr. Nanare from Melbourne connected Tempe to International Social Business Network with Muhammad Yunus. Jay Mohankar from Massachusetts has been including Tempe in his diet since the workshop. Mike Hillis from Portland is enthusiastic about selling homemade Tempe manis in Portland. Buagini can finally make Tempe again, something she did during childhood to help her mom before leaving to Oxford. Those are just few of many more stories that tell so much that Tempe gave a hope, and there are still more to come. Promoting Tempe as healthy, sustainable, and affordable food can promote many people's lives, economically, socially, environmentally, and traditionally. It's also not just about soybeans. Incorporation of local beans around the world can promote new opportunities, jobs, cuisines, technologies, arts, and many more. Tempe is a food of hope from Indonesia for the world.